Oh, oh boy, I'm running a little bit late. Like 5 minutes later, you leaving the house than usual. Oh, well, actually, no. Well, I didn't leave the house. But it's like 7:24, but I left like about like 7 minutes ago. But yeah, I was like 5 minutes late from that time, the time that I usually leave. And so I'm like, hopefully the traffic isn't too bad because I would like to get to work, at a decent time and hour. Because, they don't say anything. Like most people come in like 8:05, 8:10. They don't say anything around that time. They have a little, I would say, grace period per se. They don't really say much. But if it's like a continuous thing, they'll say like, hey, we appreciate it if you come here exactly on the dot, you know? So, I don't like to make it a habit. But, I got up early this morning. I started cleaning up the dishes and everything. Yesterday I came home from work and I just knocked out. So I didn't get around to nothing. I was tired. Like I got home and after a couple of hours, I just fell out of my bed. I was just very, very tired. And, just got up and I'm like rushing my husband. Hey, can you make me a bagel? I'm like, oh, come on, Matthew. I'm like, I want to sit down and relax. I mean, I'm annoyed. Like, I don't like doing anything. I want to relax in the morning time. And I'm like getting up and doing the dishes already. I was like a little agitated. More than ever, my hair agitates the hell out of me because, like, I was thinking about it earlier. I'm like, oh, this hair is getting on my nerves. And the thing is, I don't want to go to work with my hair looking all like unprofessional and crazy, because my hair naturally is afroed, It's not like how you see it up here. It's naturally afroed. And I like my afro hair. The problem is that unfortunately, and I hate, and I'm not, people may say, oh, that's not true. But what I'm going to say is very true is that people in this country consider certain types of hair unprofessional, for work. So, I've seen some girls go to work like with my hair type. Black girls go to work with their natural hair. You know what I mean? And it's in a nice little afro, but a lot of times it's very short, small afro. It's not a big afro. My hair, if I wore it in an afro, my natural hairstyle, it would be a big afro, and people would consider it. They won't say anything because they don't want to get, accused of discrimination, but a lot of people don't want your hair like out like that when you go to work. So it's like, okay, so how am I supposed to wear my hair professionally where it's in its natural hair state? Now, for many years, I've said this before, there was a time I never straightened my hair ever. When I was a young girl, I used to take a brush of water and gel, and I used to brush my hair. I would start from like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'd be brushing my hair for a whole freaking like 30 minutes to almost 40 minutes, trying to get it perfectly straightened down with the brush with water and gel where there's not even a flick of hair standing up. And I used to do the side burns and everything. And that's when I had energy to do my hair. I'm tired. Like, I don't really have that kind of energy anymore, to go and do my hair like that every day. Because I guess I'm just a very busy person. And it's hard to really put that time in the way you want to, it's hard when you're busy running around trying to do things. It's hard to put that energy into your hair like that, especially when it's in my kind of hair type. It's a lot of work dealing with natural hair. So back then when I was younger and I was a little girl going to school, I didn't have much responsibility. So, I had all this energy. I'm like, okay, I took like 30, 40 minutes in the mirror trying to make my hair look very perfectly straight down with water and gel and a brush. And I used to brush my hair every day. But as I got older, they started mentioning that it's actually Black women is not recommended for us to brush our hair every day. I said, really? I said, I didn't know that. I said, they said that, we're supposed to wear in protective hairstyles a lot more and brush it out once a week. I'm like, once a week? Like, how am I supposed to do my hair every day? Look it up on Google. Should Black girls brush their hair every day? It's going to tell you, no, it's not recommended. You should brush your hair once a week during wash day and detangle it. Well, then how are we supposed to get our hair, moisturized and brushed out properly and go to work with our hair done nice? Because, I mean, this is the truth, and they won't say this to you, but they consider our hair type unprofessional. They do. They when you go to work, they want your hair a certain way. So if I was to wear my hair in an afro, like the way I would want to naturally, and I brush it out and just pick through it and put the oils and everything I want in it, they'll be like, oh yeah, you need to come here, we need to talk real quick. Yeah, your hair, we need it, you know. They won't say it out in public, but they want your hair a certain way professionally done. So it's like, okay, so what am I supposed to do? Like, you know, straighten it every single time? Like, I used to straighten my hair once a month back then. I would do, what I used to do is on wash day, whenever I washed it, I would wear it sometimes naturally, but I used to brush it every day. And then when I found out you're not supposed to do that every day with your hair, I'm like, okay, well, that sucks. You know, they say it causes more hair breakage, supposedly. I'm like, I mean, I brush my hair every day. My hair grew, but my hair used to always be very uneven, and maybe that's why. I don't know. And then after that, I would straighten it like the second time I do my hair wash, and I would straighten it out. And it was like every month I would straighten my hair to give myself a break. Like this morning, I used like a heat protectant oil, and I put it on my front bang or so to kind of, you know, straighten out the bang a little bit. I was like, I'll go for a bang today. And then the back of my hair, I brushed it down, and I brushed it. I started at like, what time? 6:30? And I mean, it was like 7 o'clock, and I still was working on my hair, because you have to section it out, because you can't brush your hair all throughout like that real hard. Your hair will break off. So I'm sectioning it out. I'm like, oh, I should have did this last night, but I fell out to sleep. You know, it sucks, you know, it really does, you know. It's a lot of work dealing with natural hair. I mean, it is, at least for me. I don't know. Part of me is like, should I get my hair cut and trimmed or whatever and go to a hair salon? It's not a lot of people I really trust out there, you know, with my hair. And I don't know. I don't really know where to go, because you go to a Dominican shop and they use too much heat and your hair burns off. I've heard of people complaining that go there that their hair breaks off, or, you know, there's just too much heat being put to their head. I went to the Dominican shop maybe twice my whole life. I actually have a picture of myself in 2016. I'll have to show it one day, of me getting my hair done. And it came out nice, but my head was burning. Like, they washed it, and then they had this hot heat a blow dryer, and they were putting it so close to myself, and I didn't want to offend them, and they spoke Spanish, so, you know, I'm speaking some Spanish off and on, because I understand some Spanish, you know, depending on what we're talking about. And now, but I don't speak it in its entirety, you know. And so it's like, okay, my head is burning. I know my pillow and my head is burning. Okay, mi cabeza. I'm like, you know, and I'm trying to not offend them, you know. But my hair came out really nice, you know. But I'm like, I don't want my hair to, you know, make that a habit where every month I'm going there and getting my hair done like that professionally to keep it in spot, so I don't have to deal with it every morning. And the next thing you know, my hair is burning off, breaking off in the heat. So I'm like, oh gosh. Then if I put it in twisties, the problem when I put my hair in twisties, you know, it stays, the twisties stay in, but hair, it doesn't, the twisties don't stay locked in. My hair tends to, how do I put it? Like, it don't stay in neatly. Like, I try to put the twisties in, and it just starts to come out very easily the very next day or two. And then it starts getting frizzy. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna have to redo it. Then I looked up online to say they're not supposed to retwist our hair every other day. You know, if you're to twist your hair, is only once a week. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? You know? So I got tempted with that board brush today, and I'm gonna look up online, like, if I use a board brush on my hair every day, is that okay? Because it's not like hard bristles, and, you know, I'm like, trying to not straighten my hair is tempting. And a lot of times I straighten it for the convenience of things. You know, I like to straighten it. I may do it for the front part to put a style to my hair, but for the most part, I do it more out of a convenience, because I know I have a very busy schedule. But if you keep straightening your hair every 2 weeks or once a month, every month, your hair will start to get brittle and break off. You know, so there's a lot of Black people now are starting to go back to wearing their more natural state hair, like that, but they wear it like in locks or dreads. Nephew has dreads and he has very long hair. I have to show a video of him turned around. His hair is all the way down to his butt. He has very long natural hair, but again, it's in dreads. It's in a protective style, and they keep up with it. His father does them a lot and keeps up with them. Me, I wouldn't want dreads, but I think that locks would be nice, but I don't know too much on how to do the locks that I see like they do online. I would have to get it professionally done probably and keep my hair that way, because it's annoying dealing with the hair straightening once a month. And I don't always want my hair to be straightened. I get bored after a while. It's like, okay, I want something that, is going to keep my hair healthy, where it's set in place, and I don't have to deal with it, every day. So a lot of people I notice are wearing like locks or like certain, I don't know if they're, certain twist locks or whatever they call them. It keeps their hair in place, and they don't have to worry about the hair straightening and having to deal with it every morning and it's just too much. Oh boy. And if you were to wear your hair in this natural state like afro, people, corporate America considers it unprofessional. They do. But that's our natural hair. That's the way our hair is. That's the way it grows out of our scalp. So I don't know, like, it's just ludicrous to me, to be honest. But if it's a short afro, it's a little bit different. But when it's like you have long hair and it's an afro, it's poofed out there, they're gonna definitely have a problem with that. So but I wouldn't mind wearing it like that if it wasn't such an issue, So it's like, oh boy. Now, when I used to go to school, I remember I used to wear my hair, I used to shower, and this was like in 12th grade. And what do they call, like, there's a very big, like, not rubber bands, but like I'm sure people know what I'm talking about. Like it's not rubber bands, it's not pom-poms. It's, oh boy, I don't even know the name of it. It's almost like a scrunchie, but it's thin and black. And it's a hair, it holds your hair up. So I used to buy those. And I would have my hair naturally in its natural state. But what we used to do is take a little water and gel, and I used to push my hair in from the front, and then I would take that hold, and I would have a nice big puffy afro ponytail in the back. And I used to like wearing it like that for school and everything. But then, like, when I started going to work, they want your hair a certain way. I'll never forget now, there was a black girl that I worked with. I liked her. She was pretty cool. This was when I was at Burger King, going back years ago. And she had actually a nice, decent size afro. It wasn't short and it wasn't like big and long. It was a nice, neat, curly, pretty afro. It was like around this height, like around how I have my hair around. And we were working, right? Now, you got girls up in there with their hair all over the place, hair shedding, they're straight here, but their hair is shedding all over the place, and it looks like they have some pieces up in the front, hanging out in the front of their head, right? And hers is a nice, tight, pretty afro. I used to love her. I loved her hairstyle. Somebody came in to inspect the place. I'll never forget this. They inspected the place, and they looked at her, and they complained to the manager about her hair. And I'm like, she was pissed off. And I'm like, what's wrong with her hair? Her hair looks pretty. Actually, her hair is in a nice, tight, pretty curls. There's nothing shedding off of it. And they said something about, oh, yeah, her hair, it's all over. Yeah, they could get in the food and all this other stuff. And, maybe she should cover it or something like that. Well, what about all the other women back there that has her hair hanging out all over the place, her hair flying off? Many times, how many times people complained about hair in our food, and it was never a black girl's hair in the food. And it's like, okay, well, why are you coming at her about her hair and making it seem like it's unprofessional or like she should do something. And she was pissed off. She's like, excuse me, my hair is not the hair that be going into these hamburgers, okay? Like, that's not my hair that's been shedding like that. My hair is nice and healthy and it's not falling out of my head. You know? So I'll never forget that. So that just right there was a wake-up call to me. And I was 18 years old at the time. I was like, ooh, and my hair was straightened back. I didn't have no hairnet on my head, you know, and my hair was in a ponytail. They didn't even say anything. There's girls out there that came in, their hair was straight down and all over the place. I'll never forget Miss Diane, who the 6-year-old woman, her hair was like a wavy kind of hair type, but it was all over the place. She didn't have no hairnet on her head, and she's working near food. No one said a word to her about her hair falling into the food or anything. She's had a couple times her hair's fallen in burgers and people complain. My mom ordered a burger there once, and there was a girl with red straight hair, and it was all over the place, right? And it was a piece of red strand of hair in her Whopper Jr. She was pissed off. It's like, wait, hold up here. So the girl with the afro, right? Her hair never falls into anything. And you're complaining about her hair, which her hair is actually in a protective style. It's not all over the place. And the people whose hair is flying all over the place, nobody says nothing. It's like, what the hell? So it just comes to show you the biases and stereotypes that people have about hair and about certain people. You know, they already got an idea that if your hair is like that, it's unprofessional. It's going to be all over the place. It's going to get everywhere. And it's like, that's not true, because like people with afro hair, if it's afro and tight and curly, it's not going to shed like that. A lot of times the people's hairs that shed are the ones that are straight. Their hair sheds a lot more. Every time I sit on a chair, and I have OCD with this, but every time I sit on a chair at a restaurant, I see hair. It's never an African American girl's hair that I see sitting on there. And I'm like, ugh. And it's like all over the place. It's stringy. I'm like, can I sit over there? And my husband's like, what's going on? There's two things that drives me crazy about sitting on seats. If it has a stain on it and it's brown and looks nasty, I don't want to sit on it. If I see a piece of hair, I'm going to go ballistic. So those are two things that I don't like seeing. And so it drives me absolutely insane. I never have once seen an afro type of hair sitting on the seat. Every time I see it's a straight stringy hair and it's either wet or whatever. I was like, ugh. I was like, I'm going to sit over there and I start feeling I'm going to gag. I'm like, ugh. But me and my mom hate seeing hair everywhere. Like, this one thing that drives us absolutely insane. So when you know, that's why I find it funny, because it's like people have their stereotypes and biases of what they think is like unprofessional or considered unkept. But a lot of times the hair that looks unkept is the hair that's the strongest, that's actually not falling out of someone's hair, like the head like that, onto something. The hair that's more straight and all over the place is the hair you're going to find into burgers and foods and stuff like that. But it's funny, but I'm looking that up. I'm like, well, what can I do to wear my hair where it's considered professional? You know, so I don't have to always like brush it through with water and gel every day, or straighten it and having to deal with hair breakage or whatever like that. So I've looked up online. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm guilty of that. I brush my hair like every day with water and gel, and geez, I didn't know that was not good to do to your hair. Something about it takes this natural curl pattern out and it causes like a breakage. And I believe it because when I used to brush my hair every day, not that it didn't grow, but it was a lot of uneven lengths, you know, in my hair. And I think it's because a lot of it was breaking off as I was brushing it every day. And I remember there used to be a lot of hair in the brush. A lot. I'm like, okay. You know? So I'm like, that makes sense. Now that I don't brush out every day, it's just a lot more work. Having to detangle it with your hair, your hands, and you're like, oh, take a lot longer to notice. And I have less hair in the brush, I notice now. It's not like how back then where I used to have like a puff of hair in my brush, and that's because I was brushing it every day. And I'm like, So I'm like, okay, there's two things I could do. Either get it into protective locks or get it professionally done and have somebody trim it or possibly cut it if it needs a haircut. The thing with getting your hair cut is that it will make it easier in the sense of if you wake up every morning, it's not much to do with it. The only thing is you won't be able to put as much styles as you want in it. It's like very little things you can do with short hair, but you won't have to deal with it as much every day. Another thing is a protective style. I can do that. But like I said, I have to find somebody that I feel comfortable with doing my hair. Somebody that I can trust. You know, I have to look up reviews because I don't trust most people with my hair going to a hair salon. But that's the reason, I mentioned this before, like, you know, because people always like try to say something about women wearing bonnets on their head. But, like, that's the reason why women wear bonnets on their head. Black women, mainly. Because their hair, when they get it done, they don't want it messed up. You know, they spend a lot of money on their hair, or they do it themselves. And have someone that they know do it. And they're like, I'm not trying to mess up my hair after I got it done. I'm not trying to get up for work the next day and deal with this, like, you know, and, you know, I'm trying to have my hair nice and neat for work the next day. I don't want it touched or nothing, you know, and so they take it off and then they go to work. They go outside. It's humid outside. They're not having their hair all over the place like that. Some of them have just got their hair did, and they're like, okay, I'm going to put something on my head so I can protect my hair from the humidity and all of a sudden. I just got my hair done. I'm not trying to deal with that today. And so people considering it like ghetto, or they'll say something like, oh, what's she doing with that bonnet on her head? That looks so unprofessional. Like, or that looks like, not unprofessional, like ghetto or something. And it's like, that's not ghetto. That's them taking care of their hair. That's a thing. That's a piece you put on your head when you go to bed at night. No, it's not. It's not just for bedtime. That's for a lot of things. Some women wear it in the pools when they go swimming because they just got their hair done. If they want to go for a swim. Sometimes they do it because they just got their head done and they don't want their hair all over the place. It's not because they didn't do their hair and their hair looks a mess. That's not why. If that's the case, they'll just throw a wig on their head. It's plain and simple. And nobody says anything about women wearing wigs on their head. What if maybe their hairs are the ones that's unkept? You know? or put a baseball cap on, and if their hair is short enough to fit it underneath it. You know, duh. You know, so it's just stuff like that is annoying when I hear that. I've been seeing that a lot online where they start shaming a woman for wearing a bonnet on her head because she dropped her kids off to school. Well, maybe she had to do her hair and had her hair done. You ever thought about that? And if she wears a wrap one, I mean, they'll say something, but they'll say something more if it's a bonnet because it's a bonnet. Like, okay, do you understand the bonnet is big enough to cover up all their hair when it has done? You know, it's just, I don't know, the ignorance of people. They don't, you know, if you don't understand why people are wearing something on their head, just don't say anything. Because, you know, if you don't know what you're talking about, just stop talking. You know, you have no right to sit there and criticize somebody what they put on their head in the morning. You're not criticizing anyone who's throwing a wig on their head. You're not criticizing anybody who's putting a baseball cap on their head in the morning time when they go to the store. And they probably got out of bed and didn't even do their hair. They just got out of bed and they just went and put a baseball cap on, and they can fit their head underneath it because they don't have poofy hair. Maybe their hair is more straight, but their hair looking all stringy, and they put and oily. They even wash it and put something on their head. Nobody's saying nothing to them. So why are you criticizing the woman that's has natural hair that she has gotten done, and she's trying to protect it, and she puts a bonnet on her head? Like, why judge her for how she's wearing her hair in the morning and what she puts on her head? You know? It's just something I noticed, and it's irritating. Me and my sister were talking about it, and my sister agreed. Like, how are you going to talk about somebody else and what they put on their head? You don't even understand why they're putting it on their heads. You know? It's stupid. You know? I mean, there are times, you know, I've done some streams, and you'll see me wear like a wrap on my head. That's because a lot of times I either have it done or straightened. I want to keep it up. There's some days that I'll wear it on because, you know, my hair is very poofy And maybe, yeah, I wrap it up and try to keep it down a little bit. Or it's in twisties and I want to keep it down and have it nice and wrapped. Or I got out of the shower. My hair was wrapped up and then I kept it safe and I just didn't take it off yet. But whatever the reason, like, people make it seem like if you're wearing that on, you must have not did your hair yet. No, that's not why. You know, that is not why, you know. Yeah, it's pretty funny, you know. I still gotta find my bonnet though. I gotta go to the store and get it, because I be damned somebody say something to me and my hair is done and I got out of the shower and twisted it up and put it into little twisties and I have it set and I put it on so I can go run some errands, because that's another thing. Sometimes people put it on because they just got out of the shower, they put their hair into some protective style, or they twisted it, put it into like what they call bantu twist, and they're doing it so that way their hair can rest and also get crimps put into it naturally. So then they put a bantu twist on, because they're not going to walk out with a bunch of they're like 6 or 7 like twists in their head running around like that. They're like it looks like they just put a roller set in. They're not going to go outside like that, so they're going to put a something to cover their head, like a bonnet. And okay, let me do this because it's going to take a couple hours before, or maybe the whole day before it dries and gets the texture that I want. I have to tame it, so let me put this on and let me get to some errands and get something done. Hey, they're not dirty. Their hair is washed and everything. They're getting ready to go run some errands, do laundry. And someone's like, oh, she probably got out of bed. Yeah, she stopped wearing that on that. That don't look good. Like, shut up. You know, mind your business. You know, go do your thing. You know, what about your hair? Did you throw a wig on it today? Did you wash your hair? I bet you underneath that wig you got dandruff falling off of your head, right? You know, or you know, with the straight hair, you know, like your hair look a little greasy. And you wearing a baseball cap on it, you know, like I don't know if you washed your hair this morning either, you know. You know, it's crazy, you know. And the one with the wig on, okay, you would think they would understand why, you know, why the girl with the bonnet is wearing her bonnet on. Like, ugh. Oh boy. Oh boy, I don't know, man. I don't know. Just, oh boy. I just shake my head. That's all I can do. I'm starting to feel hungry. Well, when I get to work, I'll probably grab something downstairs at that cafeteria. Some oatmeal, most likely. Because I didn't really eat last night. I had like one piece of quesadilla that was left over, and I fell out. I was very, very tired. Oh. Let's see. Oh, I got a text message. I'll have to look at it when I get to work. Yeah, as soon as I get to work too, I'm gonna go to the back instead of the front, because there's been some drama going on in here. Not good, and I'm staying the hell out of it because I hate drama. I don't know, something's going on with the 2 new girls and the 1 new girl in the front. And I don't like what I'm hearing and seeing, and people getting threatened and stuff like. So I'm like, I'm gonna go through the back door and avoid that, because I'm not trying to get involved in anybody's drama. Somebody comes up to me with questions, I'm gonna say I know nothing, because I don't. It's not my problem. You know, they say it takes 2 to tango. It takes 2 to figure it out too. That's between them 2. They need to go on a private note and discuss that, because that has nothing to do with anybody else in the office, you know. Something I learned over the years, you know, mind your business, stay out of things that has nothing to do with you. You know, lot of times people think like involving other people is going to solve the issue, and it's not. It just adds more fuel to the fire, and it seems like it causes more issues than good. Something I learned over the years: when you get involved in other people's problems and drama, even friendships, you know, you get involved with problems between a friend, let's say you're a mutual friend, more than half of the times the shit backfires on you. Because when they make up, they become cool again, guess what? They're going to start having problems with you, or they're going to, somehow it becomes another problem. The fight that was going on, now it extends into some other fight. Now all of a sudden, the original problem now has been thrown away to the side. And now it becomes a whole nother issue with you, between those two friends. And it's like, wait, we went from you two having a problem to now you guys having a problem with me. That's how it always ends up. So mind your business. You know, if something goes on between two people, let them settle that. You know, it's one thing, okay, if your one friend was doing something really bad and you know your other friend was innocent, and you tell them, hey, look, I know what you doing wrong. You know what I mean? And I saw this, but, you know, you guys going to have to work this out. And a lot of times, if I see a friend that's innocent, I'm not talking about both friends are doing wrong to each other. I'm talking about one friend is innocent. I know that they didn't do anything wrong. They're not backfiring. They're not trying to get back at you in any bad way. And the other friend is evil. A lot of times I want to be on alert with that friend that's doing evil, because if they could just do evil to one person like that that's innocent, then what can they do to me? You know? So that would be the only time I probably would take a side on something, is if I know you're innocent and they're guilty 100%. But if you have two friends that are doing each other wrong and fighting, the best thing to do at that point is to be like, look, you know, you two need to work that out. That has nothing to do with me. You know, I hope you both can work this out. Me getting involved ain't going to solve the problem, or being the mediator per se, you know? So, you know, a lot of times people get mad about that, and they'll say, oh, you know, you need to choose a side. No, I don't need to choose a side. I don't choose sides. And if I do choose a side, you know what side I'm going to choose? My side. My side is staying on the side of common sense and peace, you know? So yeah, I do choose sides. I choose my side. My side is staying the hell out of shit that has nothing to do with me. You know, not laying, you know, I will lay on my hands. You know, I will lay on my hands. I will lay on my hands on something that has nothing to do with me. So that's right. I will definitely sit on my hands, because that actually has nothing to do with me, and I have no business laying my hands on something that has nothing to do with me, that I did not cause. You made that mess. You made your bed, and now you lay in it. Don't expect others to lay in it. That has nothing to do with it. So, I mean, I always say judge every situation. Like, okay, if you see someone is truly innocent and you're a witness to that, and that person's just doing evil and stuff, then that'd be the only time I would say, yes, speak up and say something, because somebody is really doing wrong. But more than half of the times, I notice a lot of drama and a lot of problems happen between two people. It's because they're both escalating it and they're both guilty of it. It's like there's no point of you engaging in that. They need to settle that. It's as simple as this. If they really want to settle their beef, they would do it in private with each other. They wouldn't have to get 1, 2, 3 people to come in and involved, because a lot of times it just ends up into another fight, another issue, and the original problem or argument that was going on, right? And it escalates to some other issue. You're like, wait, this started off with Becky and Jenny. Now it's Becky, Jenny, Bobby, and Caitlin. And now they're fighting about a whole nother different thing. And now they change alliances. And now this and this and this and this and that. And so just avoid that, you know, like, you know, you ever in a situation where someone's doing that? Yeah, stay out of it. Someone like yesterday, someone came up to me and said, hey, Candace, you know what's going on up there? And I said, wow, I said, I'm in disbelief. That's all I said. I didn't side with nobody. I didn't say, oh, well, she this and that. I just said, I'm in disbelief. Wow, that don't sound good. Well, you know, I hope they settle their situation, and that's it. I stayed out of it. I'm not going to start siding with nobody. Well, I'm going to go and tell what's his name on that girl. Da-da-da. You do that. I'm staying the fuck out of it. So, you know, I'm here to work. I'm not here to play games or whatever. And that's just in general with me. Even if you know, I'm not at work. I'm in friendships and you guys are sitting here having y'all beef. You guys settle that. That has nothing to do with me. I just say, wow, I'm sorry that happened to you guys. And I'm sorry to hear that. I don't like the way this sounds. I wish this didn't happen. But I hope you guys, I hope you guys figure it out and settle something, That's all I can tell you. Other than that, I stay the fuck out of shit. I don't get involved in other people's problems because half of the time it doesn't resolve anything. And a lot of times it'll backfire on you at the end. It'll never backfire on them too. It's going to backfire on you. And it's like, let them settle their shit. They made that bed. Let them lay in it. Let them put their hands on it. You sit on your hands because it has nothing to do with you. You should have to put your hands on something that you never created. So you have a right to sit on your hands. So that's my message at the end of the day, which, I'm just kind of talking about different situations in life. And that's something I'm thinking about. I'm like, oh, please, when I walk in, I'm going to go right through the back door. I'm not dealing with that. I'm out of here, okay? Take care, everybody, and bye-bye. Gotta go.